TJ, Super Bowl ring. What would that mean for Josh Allen?
It would be about time. He would be on the precipice of being one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play. He would need to win, too. He comes out in the same draft class of another quarterback that really needs a Super Bowl win as well. But Josh Allen, he's 29 years old. So if he can win a Super Bowl at the age of 29, we would assume he'd get another one. He gets another one. Oh, he's easily a top 7 quarterback ever. Ooh. But he might be the physically most gifted quarterback we've ever seen. Size, speed, power, arm strength. And then you look, everybody said, oh, he got really, really good when Stephon Diggs got there. Then Diggs leaves, it was like, Josh Allen gonna fall off. He got better and won MVP.
Correct.
And so, to me, if Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl, all he does is elevate himself historically. Yeah. Where he falls is up for debate. We know some people that think he's gonna be falling pretty well, but he's gonna have to win 2 Super Bowls. There's so many quarterbacks that have won multiple Super Bowls for Josh Allen to leapfrog him. But if he wins this Super Bowl, he's gonna be talked about as one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
Yeah, see, I don't view multiple Super Bowl rings as greatness. I don't. Watching Josh Allen with my 2 eyeballs, if Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl, which means he has a Super Bowl and a MVP, Josh Allen will be a top 10 quarterback of all time. Argue with your mama, not me. But one of these dudes would have to come out. One of these dudes will have to come out. I don't care who has to come out, but one of them will have to come out. You got Tom Brady, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, and those boys. But Dan Marino, Terry Bradshaw, guys like that, somebody would have to come out of the top 10. If you watch Josh Allen play the game of football, we've never really seen this.
Who are you taking out?
He's running.
Who are you taking out?
This is 10. This is 10. No, I'm saying this is my 10. So as of right now, I don't have Drew Brees in there. I don't have Steve Young in there. Obviously, some people probably going to be upset. There's some really good quarterbacks that's not on this list. But Josh is too special not to be in the top 10. Josh is one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen, added with an MVP, and now you added with a Super Bowl at 29 years old. There is not too many quarterbacks that we've seen that are better than Josh Allen. And I'm not going to sit here and say just because they won some Super Bowls, they better than what we've seen with our own 2 eyes. And I know some people do judge them Super Bowls like that. I don't, because it's a lot of quarterbacks that I would not take over Aaron Rodgers, and I believe my dude next to me, to the right of me, agrees with me too, because he played against Aaron Rodgers and know how special Aaron Rodgers is and was. So them Super Bowls mean something, they do. But with what I've seen with Josh Allen, just the talent on the football field, and now I've seen him carry a team with nothing.
But then here's the interesting, not pushback, but just to elevate the conversation a little bit higher. Super Bowls either matter or they don't. The reason I suggest that is if a Super Bowl doesn't matter that much, in theory, why isn't Josh in your top 10 now? So a Super Bowl is giving Josh Allen enough of a bump.
Dan Marino's in the top 10. He didn't win one.
But a Super Bowl is giving Josh enough of a bump to jump Steve Young, enough of a bump to jump Drew Brees to James Jones. But multiple Super Bowls don't mean as much. You would have to offer clarity for me, Jay, because, though Aaron Rodgers is the greatest thrower of the football I have ever seen, I would respect somebody saying Montana's better, Brady's better, Pat's better. They got Super Bowls. Because to me, if you win a Super Bowl, and not just like you stumble into a Super Bowl, I'm not talking about a guy that didn't really carry their team there. That has to weigh more.
So with me, I go off of the way it looked and your accomplishments. When you watch Josh Allen right now, you say this is one of the baddest men we've ever seen play the quarterback spot. You say that. Without an MVP, without a Super Bowl, you say that. And now you add that, it's like, man, if he's one of the baddest we've ever seen and now he has a Super Bowl and an MVP, he's better than those dudes. And the reason why I say that is because, let's say like a Joe Flacco. He has a ring over and Dan Marino doesn't. You wouldn't fix your lips to say that.
Of course not.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you've seen Dan Marino play the game of football and it looks totally different. So we're not taking Joe just because he got a ring.
But what about when the gap is smaller, right? Flacco, Marino, they exist on 2 different islands.
You know
what about when the gap is
so who's
Steve Young and Josh Allen? Now all of a sudden I'm like, well, Young got 2 MVPs.
But could I make it? If I make an argument for Josh Allen, it would be this: who is he throwing the ball to?
This year.
Last year.
I mean,
if he went to Super Bowl this season, and just go through the last however many years,
yeah, he has some
the quarterbacks have usually had a top 10 tight end and/or a top 10 receiver. Where we sit today, we can't say that about the Buffalo Bills. So if Josh Allen wins a Super Bowl, he's really the definition of putting a team on my back. Because he doesn't have a Gronkowski like Brady had. He doesn't have a Travis Kelce. He doesn't have a Tyreek Hill. He doesn't have that. And so if he wins a Super Bowl, he really carried the team. Flacco, that defense. And so we've seen instances where quarterbacks, you're like, they won Super Bowl. It was a reason. If they win a Super Bowl, it's because Josh Allen said, get in his backpack, I got y'all.
And really quick, because I should have Steve Young in here. I really should. So let's say I got Steve Young in here and Dan Marino out, and Josh has an MVP and a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is he better than Marino?
Yes, to me. But I value Super Bowl so much because I didn't win one. You won one. Y'all know what it takes.
But right now you have Dan Marino as a top 10 quarterback.
I would, of course. Off talent alone. But as soon as you start adding in the fact of Super Bowls, because to me,
that's why it's a tough conversation.
Like, because it's the same conversation we had with Kevin Durant previously. If you are that good, you would win Super Bowls. Because if we really wanted to be nitpicky, and y'all know me, I'm a film snob and a film junkie, I go back and say the game was lost on these decisions. The game was lost on those decisions. Lamar doesn't have a Super Bowl in part because when he saw Josh Allen the first time, he threw a 97-yard pick six. They lost by 13 points. That was a 14-point swing. Lamar would have beat Josh Allen. He would have gone to a championship game. God knows what happens. Lamar didn't get to a Super Bowl this past year because of first half. Second half, he went crazy. Shout out to Lamar Jackson, he went crazy. But a fumble and an interception. Against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game the year before, Lamar Jackson, sack, forced fumble, coming out. Defense only gave up 17 points to the Chiefs. Ravens only scored like 10 or 14. You can go back and say, had the quarterback been better, they would have done it. So, to me, if your quarterback ain't got Super Bowls, I'm always looking like, nah, quarterback, you touch the ball every play.
That's the separator. The Super Bowl is a separator.
Yes.
So when does the talent and stats part kick in? When does that kick in? Like of the greatest?
I don't know if you go stats.
No, because I'm saying you can't.
Today's game. It's
one week we got more games.
No, but I mean like how it looks though. Like because it will be tough. Like Cam Newton was special, but Cam Newton wasn't special for a very long time. You understand what I'm saying? So he's not going to have like a bunch of the special stats to go up in there to like back it up without a championship. Josh is. And Josh, we see with our own two eyes how special Josh is. Running, throwing, like we've seen that. And now you add an MVP and a Super Bowl. I don't know how you can put those other quarterbacks in front of him just because of Super Bowls. And you've seen this dude play the game and how talented he is, but he's winning.
But he has to win it all. Because
that's what I'm saying. We're going off of
if he wins it all. If he wins it all, I'm with you. If he wins it all, I'm with you. The how it looks argument is frustrating because sometimes something can look really, really good, and you're like, but where was the final result? Like, how could it look that good? It's the dilemma I have with Aaron Rodgers because Rodgers was so freaking good, and it's like, bro, you only won once?
He was unbelievable.
Rodgers is unbelievable.
But with that being
unbelievable.
Like, who are you taking over 12, though? 12 is 4-time MVP. Super Bowl MVP, and a champion. And we're saying, we can argue here that he's probably the greatest thrower of the football, one of the most special
guys.
Hey, James,
I'm only taking 3 guys.
Think about this.
Well,
you played with him.
Acho?
You played with him, so you're skewed. But y'all had him every year. Y'all receive, whether it's the quarterback, it's a man. It's just Donald Driver, Greg Jennings, James Jones. Jordy
and running backs.
Like it was like,
they had running backs.
I appreciate y'all giving us the credit. But if without that man there,
agreed.
It ain't happening.
When you look at the quarterback, like Josh Allen, his best receiver going into this season is going to be Khalil Shakir. All respect to him. If you're not a football lover, you don't even know who he is. You don't even know who he is. His tight end is going to be Kincaid and Dawson Knox. If you're not a real football fan, you don't know who they are. And so that's why if Josh Allen can do it with this collection of offensive skill players.
Can you answer this for me real quick? Because I think this will clear it up for the viewers. Because we talked to Aaron Rodgers, and you said you're only taking 3.
I'm taking 3.
And it's way more than 3 that got more championships.
Of course.
Why Rodgers?
So the 3 I'm taking ahead of Rodgers,
Peyton,
Mahomes,
Tom,
Peyton. And if somebody wants to say Montana, fine.
So they're going to say, why not Elway, Bradshaw, and those boys?
And that's because now I give him the 4 MVPs. Because truly what I would do, and I do sometimes, I add up the MVPs plus the Super Bowls. And then I start weighing things out. Tom Brady got more MVPs plus Super Bowls, and Aaron Rodgers has MVPs plus Super Bowls. So really, I add up both of those.
So
you know why Aaron Rodgers gets
Aaron's
elevated?
in front of Joe for you, because people are going to argue that. Okay.
But Aaron Rodgers went crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys know why he gets? I'm out in the field with all these young kids and college guys. Aaron Rodgers is a trendsetter.
I'm trying to tell them.
These, like, if you go to the field, when we leave this show, I'm going to the field. Everybody is trying to throw the ball like Aaron Rodgers. All the kids in high school, all the kids in college, even the guys in the league.
Come on.
The way that he throws the football, at one point it was, oh, your feet got to be planted on the ground, and Aaron Rodgers is coming from the hip. Everybody has mimicked Aaron Rodgers' throwing style. That's why he gets elevated, because everybody now is looking to him. I want to throw the ball like that guy.
You're always welcome.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.